Well, as promised, I have plans here to go through what we went through in class and a little bit on top of that in the efforts of, at least for those of you who weren't in class, to be you'll be you'll be okay. So as long as you have a wireframe to work from. Again, this is my wireframe. It's nothing too fancy. It's got some colors. It's got a font that I'm going to show you how to get. So some other styles that we'll go over, and yeah. So let's get started. So first off, this is my unstyled HTML file here. I've got this is going to some other pages that I have, some links, but you can see that I've got an image in this particular file, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we want to get some styles going. First of all, structure. You can see I do have uh, a style sheet, a reference to an external style sheet here, but I don't have the style sheet specified. I've got a style.css blank document. Well, it's got um, just some elements identified here that I may look at styling. I'm going to go ahead and make a nav section. And so typically it's good to sort of cascade down the list so that the list reflects where the elements appear. Sometimes it's going to be the entire body, but other times it would be like buttons would be at the very bottom, so I put the style sheet declaration at the bottom for that. Okay, so and then structurally it sits inside of a CSS folder or styles, whatever you want to call it. This is your content that, how you structure it is up to you, but again, I want to stress to use lowercase. It's just good practice and no funny spacing or characters. So I've got style.css in the CSS folder, so let's go back to the index. The first part is accurate. CSS is the directory, and so we just need to write styles.css or style. Save that. And again, I'm working locally here. I think one of the things I notice people be confused with still is that they need to upload things to Sully to test it. You absolutely do not need to do that. See what it says up here in my browser toolbar? It is pointing to my local directory, again, users, JON, that's me, and then this is the where I keep my working files in the Dropbox I have, and then I've got a CYOA folder. This last part is what I would migrate over when I was ready to Sully. Okay, so just as long as you have this part here, whatever this is up to you. It could be desktop, it could be documents, it could be OneDrive. But then in your editor, you want to have that directory exposed so you can, quickly knock out, see things in the previewer and whatnot. So there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and make something happen to our body, which will be, if you look at the let's close that. Let's look at the index file again. You can see that everything begins at body. That's the way I set mine up. Okay, so it begins and ends at body. So it's like the body of the entire document, whereas header is going to be the elements above any main content. So let's go ahead and give that body a background of, let's just do like a number to get going. So you can see an update. So as long as this is saved, I should see, yeah, okay, so I've got a dark gray background. Just obviously that's not what we want, but I just wanted to see and demonstrate a immediate update. I can also, let's see, let's do text align, and let's do center, because the way my mockup looks, right, it is centered up the page. Let's keep that off to the side here so we can sample things. Okay, all right, so let's check this out and refresh. Coolio, okay. So let's go ahead and just get the color right. Okay, so now how would I get the color right? Well, there is in different programs, I'm not sure if there's a tool to eyedrop in preview. Thought maybe there was. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so we found that there was an upload page in class for like hex upload. Get hex colors. RGB color code picker. Try this one. I think this was it. All right. There's a lot of tools like this. They're just web-based tools, so you could do this, or if you have Photoshop, which I do, I just want to have this, I want to demonstrate this for those of you who may not have Photoshop and need to get the colors off of a already flattened image like this. So I go ahead into my directory. Gosh, what a mess. It's at the top. All right, so there is my mockups. Gonna open that. And so the dominant color is right there. Cool. All right, so it does its best to give me a palette, which is great, awesome. So we can get the tomatoey color, and the light purple color, and the green color. So I'm actually digging this one. It's a little more vibrant. So we could just get the, I'll do the RGB. Again, it's not, I'm not sure what the benefit of doing hex over RGB. I think the hexadecimal colors are just closer to the web. What the different options are for browsers. But your RGB will have a relative hex value, as you saw on that document, as they're, most monitors have really high resolution now. So let's go and test it out now and refresh it. Okay, so we have our main body color established. Great. And now let's take care of some of the aspects of this main body section. That's where that word main body is. So if we see right here, we've got the section tag, and I'm not going to give it a class because we don't need it. But I'm going to go ahead and down here to the section, and let's grab that first color. So the background for this is going to be here. Just got to get the syntax right. And we're going to have this have margins. Let's just start with that. And then also padding 25 pixels. And and then we're going to have a border radius because I don't want it to be a block. I want it a square. So this is a block element. So let's look at it with a radius of like 8 pixels. And let's refresh it. Okay, section, background margin, padding. Oh, missing a semicolon. There we go. Okay, so the margins need to be bigger. Let's do, so we want a margin just on the left and right, so we would do 0 for the top. Let's look at the, well, okay, let's say that should be about, I don't know, 100. That might be too much. And then, so if you go down the row, you think about your values top, right, bottom, left. Okay, so if you want just margins on the side, you would do, and you could look at this 2 different ways. You could do it 4 values, so top, right, bottom, left, or you could just do top and bottom and left and right. So the first number, if it sees that there's only 2 values, it's going to take that first section and assume that you're talking about the top and bottom. Second section is left and right. All right, so there we go. And this is just going to update on the left and right. And that looks pretty good, I guess. So let's make this a little bit bigger. And zoom in. I don't know. So, you know, we're just trying to get something going here. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, how do we get this little cool drop shadow on this section? That's cool. Let's find out. There are things called text decorations. Oh, sorry. Text shadow. Okay. Text shadow. And then we would want from values for this. So